guys, it's Miss Burp, and today I'm here with
PB.
So sorry, 2 episodes came out last week. We just did a review on Maledictator, so but right now we're gonna talk about Frozer.
Yes.
Which I think Frozer totally overshadowed what happened in Maledictator because everybody, honestly, I was having a panic attack while watching that episode. Like, I was like freaking out, and at the end, you just kind of like, oof, you just like, you know what I?
Yeah.
You like just kind of like plop back down. You're like, oh shoot, okay.
Finding the episode though was extremely hard.
Oh yeah, this was
because it was in Portuguese.
Oh
when
really?
It came out, I think. And I was like trying to find either English or French, and I was scrambling, and I was like,
I think I ended up watching like I think it was like 5-minute clips or whatever.
Yeah,
and then the end was like sped up.
Yeah.
So
no, for me the end it was kind of cut off. So like the very last things that Adrian and Marinette say to each other, I still don't know.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay.
I'm like,
well,
I saw the images, so I get a
yeah.
I get a sense of what's going on, but I don't know exactly.
It was kind of weird,
what
but
was said.
yeah. So we'll go over what they said, but I don't know. I think it's not that important, honestly.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Let's start from the beginning.
Let's
though.
start. They start off with
Mhm.
I think they do Kubentai as like a bicycle villain or something.
Oh yeah, and then it's like, here's your bouquet.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I don't care, and then he like de-transforms. Of course, it was a dream sequence. Some people were like, no, it's real.
It was obvious
That's
gonna be a dream.
It's
sequence.
called wishful thinking.
Because also Ladybug's reaction, she was just a little surprised. If it were real, she would be like, what the hell? She would be like jumping and like trying to make sense of the situation. She would
like,
all be like,
something should happen on her
Yeah.
face, right? And like nothing did happen.
she would be all fidgety like, no.
And Adrian was like way too comfortable with it.
Absolutely. And Plague was nowhere in sight, so.
There were hints there, so it was pretty obvious they weren't gonna do it this episode.
Yeah. And if they would have, they wouldn't have put it on the trailer.
Honestly, an episode like, cause like some episodes they have like a specific like theme that they want to discuss like about the universe. So for that one, it'd have to be like just their identities, you know.
Absolutely.
You don't throw in Luca and Kagami. Okay. So all right. So Marinette. Okay, Ladybug breaks his heart again? Question mark. And it's like, you guys already went over this in Glaciator.
I know.
You already went over this, and then Catmore gets angry at her later on, like when they like have to come back.
I thought that was really immature of him.
I was like, especially when you think back about it. Like when he first did it, it's like, okay, we're like, you're mad again,
Exactly.
and it's like you think back about this is the exact same scenario as last time.
I know.
Except sped up. Like question mark.
It's like he keeps asking and like persisting and like going after her, even though she said no repeatedly. Like, I like someone else. So like,
well, at least
he shouldn't get mad. It's like he should expect this.
Well, that's it. You already asked. You already know her response. If you ask again, maybe something changed. Fine, but you can't get upset that she gives you the exact same answer.
Exactly. It's like,
dude.
It's like it's a plausible possibility.
Okay, so then Adrian gets upset and he's like, okay, I'm gonna ask for love. No, he goes fencing with Kagami. Kagami beats him up. So forget that whole thing about them being equal before.
Well, it's just because he was not.
But she says that she usually beats him.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh, she usually enjoys beating him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like, with the sassy face that you were making. With the eyebrows. But that's it, she's like, so it sounds like she regularly beats him up. So, like, remember in, like, Riposte? Where they were, like, equal?
Oh, yeah.
They're not equal anymore, I guess. Or, I don't know, maybe she, like, learns better.
Maybe he lets her win. Adrian, don't do that.
Because he's so kind.
If he does that, don't do that.
So she beats him up, and then he's like, oh, you know, he has, like, the rose in his hand. It's like, oh, yeah, I feel, like, lovesick. And then she's like, okay, so she says, because I think some people thought that Kagami was, like, mean in this episode. I just thought that she was very, like, direct and
Yes.
standoffish.
Definitely.
To me, that's how she came off as.
Yeah, I do understand the way they would see her as me. Like, she does kind of come off cold, you know, like Marinette says, ice queen or something. So, like, I get that. I think it's mostly just her way of being. She's not trying to be mean or nice or whatever. She's just is. Like, she just says what she thinks. She's just, like, she's very upfront. It's not like she's trying to undermine anyone or anything.
That's the thing. And the other thing is that she doesn't know about him and Marinette. So there's, like, certain things that you have to, like, take out of, like, in context, like, in her context.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't know everything. So
she doesn't go to the same school. She just knows Adrian.
Right.
Right? So, like, Luca and Marinette, she's like, I don't know, they're skating together. Maybe they're a thing.
Does she go to the school now?
No, she goes somewhere else, right?
Oh, is that why she has, like, her preppy uniform?
Yeah. Like, maybe, like, a private school or something.
Like oh, okay. Like, that's why her outfit is cute, though.
Yeah, it is really
it's
cute.
It's a cute outfit.
I was like, oh.
So, Kagami is like, okay, if you keep using, keep using the same technique or whatever, then you keep failing, then you should just change target.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad advice, necessarily. It's like, I mean, it objectifies crushes, but...
It definitely does.
It objectifies your crush, but, you know, fair enough, changed person,
but
right?
It's like a metaphor, right? It's acceptable. I'll accept it.
Acceptable. What did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah, so then he gives the rose
to her. So she's a new target, apparently.
Why?
She's there.
Like, you're a nice girl. Love me.
I mean, probably, right? He's like, okay, he's kind of like on the rebound in a way, right? He's just looking for someone to project his feelings onto.
He's on the rebound. That's another thing that feels like it's like objectifying love.
I know, but like, I don't know how to say it otherwise.
No, but that's exactly. Yeah. He's on the rebound. Love stories in anything are weird.
So I think because he gives her the rose then makes it seem less genuine. Like,
it's like now it's pretty much a declaration of love at that point. Yeah. Like giving the rose.
But it doesn't feel real. Like it kind of felt convenient, right? It was like, oh, she's there, she's nice. We spend a lot of time together. We share some common things. I'll just give it to her. It'll probably work out. This is great.
That was probably the start of my white hot rage. So at that point, I was just like, oh no! Like the entire episode was just like, no, why,
yes,
no,
absolutely. It was a big mess.
It was a big one. So then he's like, okay, I'm gonna ask for love advice. So there's like this cute montage of him trying to like ask people for advice.
And there's just couples everywhere.
Yeah, so it's pretty much confirmed that Nathaniel and Mark are a thing.
Yeah.
Rose and Julika are a thing, and we already knew about Alia and Nino.
Yes.
And then Marinette, conveniently, runs into him.
And, like, take it as a sign, Adrian. You see all of these couples, and she just randomly bumps into you. It's a sign. Choose your target.
So he's like, okay, like, I'm going to ask Marinette for love advice, which is cute.
Yeah.
And then Marinette, like, Ice Queen, Kagami. And then she's like, oh, you should go to the ice rink. And then she really, like... So then she like, okay, you don't want to go alone with her. Do you want me to come? Which is really kind.
It is very kind.
And then like
she's like putting away her jealousy and trying to be an actually like good friend.
Well, like then there's a whole like girl scene afterwards where like all the girls are like, no, you shouldn't do that. And it's like that's it. So she's kind of it's because she's so kind-hearted that she's like almost willing to let it go. Yes. Because she, you know.
I also like that she kind of questions her own crush towards him. She's like, we never really talk, or because I liked that. I love that. I was like, yes, Marinette.
Well, like, okay, you mean the part where she's like, we can talk as friends?
Yeah. I don't know. I just like that she's not jumping into her feelings. She's stopping to think about it.
Okay,
She's like trying to be less hot-headed, right? Like not when what's her name? Volpina. Right? Like that episode, she was just like, ew, no, bye, I hate you. And like here now, she's trying to be like kind and actually help Adrian with his kind of crush on Kagami, even though she's a little jealous, but like she's thinking.
But it's interesting that you bring up Kagami though, because not Kagami, Volpina, because Volpina is essentially like the same scenario, except that none of it. Marinette has grown.
Yes,
that was super good point.
I'm proud of my girl.
But yeah, that's like really good. Anyway, so she's like, okay, yeah, I'll help you, you know.
Yes.
So they go to so then she goes and she sees him, who must not be mentioned.
Really? Luca. I'll say it for her. Luca. She
okay.
sees Luca.
Luca still needs eyelashes. Point one.
That first interaction between them was just so awkward and cringy to me. Because he's like, oh, you feel like this.
And I'm just like...
It just strings his guitar and I'm like, I don't know what you're referring to. Like, I get it because of the context, but if you legit just play that music to me, I would be like, sure.
Music!
Yeah.
That's because of the context. It's like, okay, this is sad, this is happy. Like, a girl like you should feel like this.
To me, it was just, I was like secondhand embarrassment. I was like, no.
The cringe. Well, for you, I thought that was kind of cute though. I
agree, it's kind of cute, but it's just a little, like, the idea itself is a little bit.
Well,
to me,
I thought it was cute, but like, Luca, no. Anyway, so then Marinette's like, do you have anything tomorrow? And then obviously they go. Yeah. So then you got the four of them in the ice rink, and then Adrian like does a little scoot over.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I also think that it's very kind of Marinette to invite Luca because that way she's not gonna be like third wheeling them, right? So.
Okay, did she invite Luca to not third wheel, or did she invite Luca because like
she thinks she might like him? Okay, well maybe there's two things, right? Maybe there's two reasons.
Okay, let's go with two reasons. Yeah, so then Adrian does a little scoot.
Oh,
and he's like, it's really nice of you to invite Luca. And then he's like, should I hold her hand? And he's like, you should let her fall. Smooth. Anyway.
And then she backtracks and she's like, no, wait, I'm supposed to be helping him.
And then, so then she gets up and then Luca grabs her, and then like does her laces, and then Marinette's like has like that dumbfounded look on her face.
Even Adrian is like, what the hell is going on?
He's just like watching. And then, okay, explain to me why he like stands up with his unlaced skates and just stands in front of Kagami.
I have no idea.
Like, what was the deal with that?
I have no idea what he was planning to do. I have no idea what he expected to get out of that situation. I don't know. But he should have laced up his own laces.
Unless he knew that
she was gonna do it?
Or maybe he knew that, maybe he didn't know, is actually what I was trying to say. He didn't know how to do the laces, so maybe he thought that he was actually doing it the correct way.
Okay. But I feel like he should have asked if he really wanted help.
Actually,
not just stand there looming over her like,
Hey, and then she's just like, oh, you need help tying your skates, so she like does the skates. And, like, there's so, like, many, like, the parallel between what Luca did and then what Kagami does to Adrian is weird.
It's very weird.
But, like, But, okay, so consider this. What if Adrian is just as awkward about love as Marinette?
Oh, he definitely is.
But, like, not, because as Cat Noir, he's, like, super suave, right?
Oh. He's not. Like, he pretends to be, but he's not
really. He is. But you don't think so?
I feel like he likes to think he's very smooth or whatever, but
he's cool.
Like, yeah, he's flirtatious and whatever, but he's still, like, a little nervous and insecure. He's not.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, well, as Adrian, he's a lot more insecure then.
And even as Cat, he doesn't really have any success. So it's like maybe the smooth persona is not working.
Oh, okay, so I guess Cat Noir is like the overachieving, smooth, suave dude.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
The cat dude.
Because, like, imagine if a dude was talking to you like that. Wouldn't you be a little...
I don't know. I always thought his cat, because the reason why I had a hard time like digesting that is just because in my mind I was like, oh, Cat Noir is like, he's an okay like romantic guy, but I guess now that you mention it, I guess not. Yeah. So Kagami does his laces, and then they start twirling around the thing.
And they're also magically good because reasons.
Well, I mean, Kagami and Luca are good. Marinette and Adrian are not. Which brings up the question: why did Adrian agree to go to the ice rink if you're not gonna look good?
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't thinking about that. He just heard Marinette's suggestion and he was like, sure, why not? Woo-hoo.
Sure, cool. So they do that ice skating thing, and then there's a whole... Okay, so then that's when Philippe Candelero...
Oh, I don't know his name.
The skating guy, the skater dude.
I mean, I assumed it was him. I don't remember his name.
Skater dude, he's like, oh, I'm gonna close down your ice rink unless you get like somebody to sign on.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, nope. And Luca does that thing where he's like a figure skating star. And
he lifts her up.
He's like, he's like, oh yeah, music is important for ice skating. Well, I have a new tune. And he like looks into Marinette's eyes and...
I feel like everything that Luca does when he talks about music is just cringy to me. I'm like, you don't need to bring it up every second, Luca. We get it. You like music.
Music. Oh boy. Anything else about the ice skating scene? Well,
no.
that.
No, I just don't. Oh well, when Marinette falls. You're like, who's she gonna pick? And then Kagami comes in and she's like, get up.
What did she tell her? She's like, what did she say?
I never fall because I don't hesitate or something like that.
Don't hesitate.
And I'm like, when I first like saw that scene, I was like, is Kagami trying to say like, I won't hesitate, I'm gonna take Adrian or something? But then I think she was just genuinely trying to give skating advice.
I think it might just be her giving skating advice.
Yeah.
So like, she was also like, what did she say? Did you invite Marinette because you were scared of being alone with me?
Oh,
Did she talk about Marinette or Marinette and Luca? Because if she talks only about Marinette, it kind of sounds like she knew that, I don't know.
I really don't remember. But...
like, does Kagami know? Why would Kagami know? Kagami doesn't know, right?
No, I don't know.
Oh, actually, but like in her episode, like in Unique Bus, she was like, you like that Marinette girl, don't you? And he's like, no, he's just a friend. Internet blows up. But
he keeps saying that.
She's just a friend. Which part of was it at that part of the episode?
Yeah.
She was like, she's just a friend.
She falls, and she says that to her, and I think she runs away, and so Adrian goes after her, and Flag's like, oh, you came here with Kagami, but you run after Marinette, huh? And then he's like, no, she's just a friend.
Oh, and then hearts break everywhere. And so then I find it weird that he's like against the women's washroom. Anyway. So then Marinette's like, oh shoot, she has like Tiki, and then Frozer comes along and starts freezing everything. Okay, does Frozer kill everybody in Paris when he does? Nobody else in Paris shows up.
Yeah.
After he does that, except for Ladybug.
Because it's all frozen, right?
So does he kill everybody?
Maybe they're just ice statues now or something.
But I mean, I don't know. They should all be dead-ish.
But anyway, I mean, the Lucky Charm, the Miraculous Ladybug fixes it.
Brings everybody back to life.
It's cool.
So couldn't Ladybug Lucky Charm Emily back to life?
But it didn't happen because of an Akuma. So maybe she could only rectify what was done by an Akuma.
Yeah, but remember in Timebreaker when like the Alex, her thing was rolled over? It wasn't part of the Akuma, but she fixed it.
But didn't she fix it by going back in time?
No, she never ended up fixing it and by going back in time. It was the ladybugs, the magic ladybugs, remember? That fixed it.
Her powers are really weird.
Okay, so then he frees everything. Cat Noir does his, I'm mad at you again. His immaturity. And so then they're like, they split up.
Yes.
Where they have a hard time finding the villain. Most of the time the villain is like actively going after them, but in this episode they have a hard time finding him, ? So then, anyway, so they get back together. Oh, you were right, and you were right too. Oh, now we're
Yeah.
friends together again. And even though no resolution has really come to fruition,
Yes.
she uses a bag of salt. She captures him.
Which doesn't work as well as it seems.
Quick thoughts on the actual villain himself, like his design and.
I like the costume. I know you don't like the eyes, which I do think are a little weird because they're just purple. But overall, I think it's good.
Like his voice in English though, it was like the runny nose kind of voice, the stuffy nose voice. In French, it's not like that, but like in English, it is, and that annoyed me. Like the stuffy nose was like no.
Maybe the actor was just sick.
He was just like perfect. Come in, let's go. Anyway, so they fix Paris. They bring everybody back to life, presumably. Yes. They leave the ice skating rink, right? And
yeah, they're standing outside.
And then
Kagami leaves.
So then Adrian's like, no, I'm gonna keep going after Marinette, and she's just like, Ladybug. You loser. And
Ladybug, no?
Ladybug.
Because you said Marinette.
Yeah, okay.
Marinette is just a friend.
Adrian's gonna continue going after Ladybug. Luca. So she's just like, whatever, you'll figure it out. I'll be here for when that happens.
That interaction, though, I did really like. I thought that was really sweet of Luca to just be like, it's okay, it's cool. Go to Adrian. I was like, oh, yay.
It's true that he does it. I was talking about Kagami, though.
Oh,
Kagami is like, I'll be here for when that falls apart.
Oh, but so hers is a little more negative.
It's a little more ominous, but it's true that Luca was just kind of like, yeah, go find your boyfriend.
And he was like all smiley and cute, and I was like, okay, I like this side of Luca. Stop with the cringy stuff. Just let him be nice.
It's like the big brother. Like when you have like a friend, and it's like the big brother, like the older sibling or whatever, and it's just like you'd like talk to them, and they're like, yeah, when I was your age.
Although at the same time, that wouldn't be a dynamic that they would want to explore if they want to make it somehow romantic between Luca and
It has to be romantic. It was romantic. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
So the part that you missed, right, was so Marinette runs after him.
Yeah.
And
she fantasizes about telling him she likes him, that I heard. And she's like, this and that, and then she stops, and then I didn't hear. And she said like, oh, I was just gonna ask you about something.
We should go out more often.
Oh, is that?
I was like with like friends, and he's like, yeah, I'll try to clear my schedule for that. He literally says that in the French version. It says something. He's like, I'm gonna clear up my schedule for that. Okay, cool, bye, and he leaves.
Oh no,
that's what happened.
That is so sad.
Like when she started doing like the whole fantasy thing, I was like, oh, this is a fantasy. Like it's the same thing as getting out.
And I love that they both mentioned hamsters. Like why?
You're meant for each other. You both want hamsters.
I know.
So
do it.
That's it. So basically this entire episode, like in terms of like emotion, I'm like freaking out the entire time because I'm like so scared that like they're gonna break Adrianette.
Oh yes.
And then suddenly it's like, no, we're still chill. Nothing. Well, I guess
it's like nothing happened.
That's it. So it's kind of like you go high, and then you like crash down, and it was like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
So all your panic was for nothing, and I'm like, okay.
There's like no real development because Kagami's like, fine, I'll be here after you're done with that. And Luca's like, go to Adrian, but they don't.
Well, I mean, it is development. Remember Volpina? So they didn't go back to, like, so there's like development.
Character development, yes, but like romantic development, no. They're like
they're back to where they started.
Exactly.
But they're still like ahead in a certain way.
Okay.
But like because I was rooting for Adrianette, the high and low I got was like mega stress.
Yeah.
If you were to view this episode objectively though, it's an interesting episode, like to see like the dynamic and how they we get to see Kagami and Luca again. So overall, I would think that this episode 7.5 on 10. It's good-ish, not too good though. So maybe like a 7. Yeah, 7.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 7.
I would say 7 too. Maybe even like 6.5. I don't know. Like
it's like the episode was so confusing because of like all the love dynamics that were going on. It was
somewhat messy. You could tell that they kind of just wanted to throw them together and have something happen. But
you think? Okay.
I don't know. That's how I felt. Like they just wanted to throw them together and make something happen, and then like
Well, the Cat Noir plush was totally rushed. Like the Cat Noir part where he's like, I'm angry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. It's what? So it's really, it was somewhat awkward and freaky. So I think
like the audience wanted to see more Kagami and Luca, so they were like, fine, let's just throw it all in this episode. And
you think
that's how it felt a little to me in a way, because it was like, let's just make stuff happen and make characters deal with their emotions. And then it was just like, okay, and the villain came really at the end. It was very rushed, like you said.
Yeah, it was one of the more rushed villains, like, whenever that happened, so
overall, yeah, I think.
Like, the episode could have gone without a villain, honestly.
Yeah, it could have. They should try that.
Yeah, they should try that eventually. So, alright, so like a 7 on 10, 6 on... You said 6 on 10, right?
6.5, I'm gonna give them a 0.5.
Yeah. Alright, so, thank you guys for listening in, and, I don't know what the next episode is. I think, actually, the next one is, like, Catalyst or whatever.
What is that?
Catalyst is, Natalie! She gets akumatized! That's gonna be big. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thank you to the Patreon supporters and all your help. And we will see you guys in our next review.
Bye.